Hello friends, welcome back to automationtestinginsider.com. So from today onwards, I'm going to start Selenium Framework development from scratch. So sorry for the delay guys, and yeah, this is the first part of Selenium Framework development, and we are going to construct data-driven framework with page object model. And if you're new to Selenium, then I would recommend first go through my previous videos which I have created on my YouTube channel. I have created different videos on Selenium with on Java and Selenium. So I would recommend first go through all those videos. So let me take you to my YouTube channel and blog. So if you simply search in on YouTube Automation Testing Insider, you will find this channel, and up front you will see this Selenium Java framework video. Okay, so you can go through this where I talked about different components in a framework. I have created this video long back. So here we have discussed some theoretical stuff as well, like what is a framework, why do we need framework, and what are the different components in a framework, what is data driven testing and data driven framework, what is page object model. So I discussed all those stuff in this particular video. And if you go to this playlist, you'll find different playlist over here. So this is the complete playlist of Selenium WebDriver step by step. There are around 76 videos, but before that I would recommend first go through the Java for Selenium. So if you're learning Selenium with Java, then you first go through this Java tutorial. There are 30 videos around it, and if you want to separate videos for particular section, let's say like Jenkins you want, so you can go through this tutorial playlist. We have Git and Github over here, Maven tutorials, we have TestNG framework over here, and the complete tutorials you will get in this playlist, Selenium WebDriver step by step. And if you go to my blog, that is automationtestinginsider.com, so here we have this Java for Selenium. So you'll find all the notes and posts related with Java here, and here we have Selenium tutorials. So here you'll find the source code and the notes related to Selenium topics. So here I have listed on all the topics over here. So if you are new to Selenium, then I would recommend first go through these two things and then come to framework. So let me talk about the agenda for today. So we are going to talk about the framework architecture for today, and if time permits, then I'll create a project as well, and we'll create different packages and classes. But the first thing is we should understand the framework architecture. What are the different components in a framework and how it looks? Okay, and these are the different tools and technologies which we are going to use in our framework. So this is application under test. So I picked an application, e-commerce application, so I'll show you that one. And yeah, Selenium WebDriver with Java, of course we are using this, and we are going to use Maven, TestNG, Log4j, extend report, and this source code management tool, Git and GitHub, and we have Jenkins for continuous integration. So these are the different tools and technologies which we are going to use in our framework. And regarding these 2 points, like what are the different steps to create the framework, probably I'll discuss from the next video onwards. And some tips to create the framework, we can discuss this anytime, as long as we'll create the framework and we'll understand different things. So we'll talk about this as well. So let's talk about like framework architecture, how it looks. Okay, and what are the different components in a framework. So I'll explain with the help of diagram. So I'll open MS Paint, and yeah, so the first component would be the page objects. Okay, where we'll define different page classes. And so this is the application which I picked for our framework, this automationpractice.com guys. So this is very good e-commerce website where you can practice, and so that's the reason I picked this application for our framework. Okay, so whenever you navigate to any page, web page or website, so you'll find different web elements as we have seen in the page object model. Okay, I mean how to construct the page object models. First we'll write the page objects. Okay, so in this page we'll see different web elements. So here you can see this is the image, and we have different tabs over here. Okay, so we need to just store all these in page class. Okay, so this is, let's say this is index page, so we'll create all the page objects in this we'll create one index dot index page page class where we'll store all the web elements. Okay, and suppose you navigate to this sign in page. So this is another page, or I would say this is login page, where we have different elements as well. So we have this username, password field, we have sign in button. So we'll store all the web elements in page class of this login page. Okay, similarly, once you log in, you'll find so once you log in into this application, you'll find this home page. So here we have different web elements. So we'll store or we'll write all the web elements with the help of page object model. Page factory method is there, so we'll write using page factory method. So the first component would be our page objects. Okay, so I'll write the first component over here like this. So let's say I'll give name page objects, and we have different pages in our application. So let's say index page. So we'll create a index page class. So let's say if you have 100 pages in your application, so you'll write 100 page classes. Okay, so here this is sign in page, or let's say login page. Login page, we have a home page, we have order page, product search page, or let's say product page, and order page, or you can say add to cart. So in this way you have different pages on your application, and you'll write separate page class where you'll store the web elements. So this will act as object repository. Okay, so this is one of the components in our framework, and another component would be action driver. Okay, so what it does is we need to perform different actions on a web page, right? So if you see, this is sign out. So if you go to the index page of the application, okay, so what we are going to perform here, actions here is you will search the product. From here we can go to this contact us, we'll click on this sign in. Okay, so these are the different actions on this particular page. So we'll write the method, reusable methods, in this action driver. So we have different actions to be performed. Let's say we have a scroll on the web page. Okay, we have a click, we have send keys, we have a select class. To select the from the drop down, we have uh, for send keys we have type, we can create the type method as well. And what we have for different weights, we have, okay, implicit weight, explicit weight, and fluent weights. So all the reusable methods will be stored in this action driver class. Okay, we'll create a separate class. So this will act as a separate component. Okay, so this will applicable for all the projects, guys, all the web applications. So we'll store all these reusable methods related to web action, I mean page actions, user actions, in this particular class. Okay, so this is one of the components, action driver. And one important component would be utility class. Okay, utility package will be there. We'll create one package, inside that we will have different classes. So let's say this is utility component. We'll create a separate package for this utility, and we'll store different classes inside it. So what are those different classes? So we'll have one util class, we'll have in util class, what we can do here is we'll store some methods. Let's say screenshot related, how to take the screenshots. Okay, we have Extend class would be another utility class. We have a log class for log4j. We need listeners as well, and what we need a data provider class as well to supply the data from data providers to the test case using data providers. Okay, so we need a data provider. So these are the different utility components utility classes will create in our framework. So this is one of the components, utility component. And what we'll have, we need configuration as well. So this is config component. Okay, and in this component we'll have different configuration files, xml files or xml files or text file or whatever files we have will store in this particular component. So let's say what are those different files we have. So we have pom.xml in Maven project where we'll update all our dependencies. We have extend config file, extend config.xml, and we have for logging purpose we have log4j xml. We need config.properties as well, config.properties to read the constants from config.properties file. And we need what we need, I think these are the 4 components we have. TestNG.xml to run our test cases xml. So these are the different components under this config component. Okay, and what we have, we need one folder as well, folder component where we'll create different folders, keep our different folders in that in our framework. Okay, so this would be the folders. Okay, and here we'll create different folders such as we'll create one test data where we'll store our excel sheet in the form of excel sheet from where we'll read the data. Okay, we need one screenshot folder. We need what we need, configuration folder where we'll keep this config.properties file inside this configuration folder. We need drivers if you are using system.set property where we need different drivers, right? So we'll have drivers folder. Anyways, I'm not going to use this drivers folder. We'll use WebDriver manager instead. And for logs we need one logs folders as well, logs where we'll capture all the log4j logs. And for reports we have for, let's say, for extent reports we'll create a separate folder. So I would give here extent reports. So these are the 5 components as far as I have so far I have discussed. And on top of it, guys, we have, one second, let me drag it a little bit down like here. And on top of it we have one base class, so this is the main class, or I would say the parent class, base class. And all these page objects classes will extend this base class. Okay, and similarly the action driver class also extends base class. Okay, so these two classes extends this base class. And we have what we do in base class, basically we have some stuff to perform, some of the tasks we need to perform using base class. So what we'll do, we'll read the properties file, we read the configuration, I would say, and WebDriver initialization will do from base class. WebDriver initialization from base class, and we'll configure before suite and after suite method. So before we are running any particular suite, we have to configure before suite and after suite, because we need to set some parameters regarding log4j and extend report. So we have these before suite and after suite. So some common properties which required for our framework will keep in base class basically. So this is base class, and another component, the main component is test script. So here I'll write, one second. So this would be my test component, guys, where we'll keep all our test scripts. So test will have some package like com dot, let's say our application is my store, com dot my store dot test cases. So we'll write different test cases, test classes inside this test cases package. So what are the different cases? So in case, let's say, let me show you. So we have index page. This is sign in page, right? So second, yeah. So here what action we are going to perform? Login application, login into the application. Okay, so we'll test whether user is able to log in into the application or not. So all the script, all the test related things, validation will be there in the test cases package. Okay, the test cases which we are going to write. So let's say we'll have separate test cases for all the pages. It may not be the same, like let's say we have 100 pages in our application, so we'll have 100 classes of 100 of test classes. So that is not mandatory. So you can have I mean same number of classes of test classes, or you can have less number of as well, as per your requirements, like what are the testing you are going to perform on your project. So let's say I have some test cases over here. So I would say login page test. So I'll write like this: login page, home page test. So these are the different classes, and add to cart, page test, and what you can see, product, or let's say order test. We have payment test, like this. So these are the different test cases which we are going to write in our this test cases package. So these are different classes, separate classes: login page test, home page test, where we'll do the validations. We'll put our assertion and we'll do the validations. And these test classes will also extend the base class. Okay, so we can extend like this. One second. Like this. So all the tests, I mean these test classes, all these test classes will extend base class as well. Okay, now we have and guys, we have different phases in our framework, so we'll talk about this one. Okay, so let me write other components. So this is one of the components which we have written just now, test cases. And we have, how do we run our test cases? So we have testng.xml. So we'll configure our testng.xml in our project. Okay, so and the flow will be like this. So we'll configure all our test classes in testng.xml. So this would be another component, testng.xml, where we'll run our test suite. Yeah, now testng.xml, and let me have, we have another one more component, pom.xml. So this is my pom.xml, pom.xml. So we'll configure our test suite in pom.xml. Okay, and we have configuration tools like git and github. So I'll put git and github over here. So I'll write git and github. So this would be my configuration management tool, source code management. So this is git and github. And one second, let me drag a little bit down over here. And finally we need continuous integration. So for that we'll have one component called Jenkins continuous integration. So I'll write Jenkins over here, Jenkins CI tool. Okay, so we'll configure our pom.xml in git and github. I mean we'll create the project, we'll add our project into git and github repository, and when we run our jobs from Jenkins, so it will read the git repository. Okay, so it will take the git repository, it will take the clone of git repository. So this is the connection between git and github and Jenkins tool, like this. Okay, and from here we'll run our scripts from Jenkins tool. So we can divide our project, our framework, into three categories. So let me divide. So this would be, guys, development phase, of our framework. So this component, all these components are the development phase, and we have execution phase, another phase, right, where we'll execute our test case. So let's say these two are our uh, from where we'll execute our test cases. So this would be, yeah, this would be execution phase. Okay, and we have continuous integration and maintenance phase. So this would be my last phase. Continuous integration. So these are the different phases in the framework. So I think we are almost done with the framework architecture. If anything is missing, let me think about it. I think we have covered everything. So these are the different components. Now let me go over the Eclipse, and we'll create a project, and we'll write different packages and classes over there. So from next time onwards we'll directly start writing our page objects. And if you see in this application guys, so let me log in with this application. So this is the login page. If you sign in over here, yeah, so this is the home page. And let's say if you search anything over here, t-shirt, and you'll find any particular product, I mean different products using this t-shirt search. So let me click over this. So this is the flow of this uh, I mean application. So this add to cart page. From here we'll click on this add to cart, so it will be added in the cart. Okay, and from here we'll navigate to another page, proceed to checkout. So this is the order summary page. From here we'll navigate to sign in page. Sign in, already we have signed in, so this will be skipped and it will go to address page. From address page, shipping page, and payment page. So we need to write different pages in our framework according to this application. Okay, and another thing is I forgot to tell in this architecture that all the components will be integrated, I mean interlinked with each other. Okay, so index page will integrate, I mean linked with this login page. So let me tell you. First sign out. So this is the main page of the application. From here we'll navigate to this sign in, right? So we are clicking on sign in. So this is the first page, and if you click on this sign in, the user will land on the sign in page or login page. Okay, so this would be the landing page of sign in page, index page, right? So these, so we need to interlink these two pages, index page and login page. And from where, from login page, if you log in into the application, you will land on home page. So like that we need to create the link between all the pages. So this is home page, and from here what we are going to do, let's say we are searching the product. So click on search. So you'll find another page. This is search result page. Okay, so this is another page. If you click over here, and this is product result, or you can say add to cart page. And from here when you click on add to cart and proceed to, this is still the add to cart page, and if you click on proceed to checkout, you will land on this summary page or order summary page. Okay, so this is how we need to link all the pages in our framework, so that it would be very easy. This is also called the page chaining model as well, because of the interlink, I mean connection between all the pages. Okay, so this would be, I mean the design would be very easy when we do the connection between all the pages, and it would help us to do the testing and create the framework. Okay, so yeah, let me create the project. New project, and we are going to use Maven. So Maven project, create a simple project. Next, and here I'll write my store project. I'll give name like my store project, and I'll give artifact ID same as the group ID, my store project. Click on finish. So here you'll see my store project is being created over here. We have this pom.xml in Maven project. So we'll update the pom.xml from the next video onwards. I'll show you what are the different dependencies we need for our framework. So what I'm going to create inside this main src main Java, I'll create different packages guys. So uh, as we have seen different components in the framework in this diagram, so I'll create different packages. So what would be the first package? Com dot my store application name. So this is the naming convention you should follow. And let's say action driver. I'll create com dot my store dot action driver. Click on finish. I'll create another package. One second, this is interface. com.mystore page objects or pages you can write. Page object, it's fine. Page objects, click on finish. We'll have some other components as well. com.mystore data provider package will be there, where we'll write we'll create one class data provider, and we have other packages as well. Utility com.mystore utility, this is another package, and one more package would be the main package, com.mystore base package base com.mystore.base, where we'll create our base class. So these are the different packages inside this src main java, and inside this src test java will have only test cases inside this folder. Okay, so what we'll write, com.mystore.test cases or test scripts you can write. So click on finish. Inside this src test resources will have one folder. You can go to others and folder. Next will keep test data inside these src test resources like this, where we'll keep our excel sheet. And what else we need, one configuration folder. One second, yeah, folder name configuration folder. So that will come here. We'll write config.properties over here to read the properties from properties file, different constants from properties file. And we need one screenshot folder. What else we need, extent report as well. So we'll create that extent reports later on. And yeah, we need one more folder for logo. So we'll keep our application logo in that particular folder. So click on finish. So these are the different packages and folders I have created over here. And let me give an example like how to create the class, this base class. So we'll create one base class over here. So we'll write like base class like this, click on finish. So like this we'll write. And similarly we'll write action driver class over here, data provider class over here, utility classes, different utility classes which we talked about. Okay, and we have page objects. So we'll write page objects like this. Let's say the first page is index page, so we'll write like index page like this. Okay, so this is how we'll create different classes inside the packages. So packages are already done. So similarly we'll write test cases as well, test classes from on this particular package mystore.testcases. So I think so far we are good, guys. From the next video onwards we'll start writing the script. Okay, we'll write the base class and page objects. So we'll go one by one. Okay, so let me go over this. So I think we are done for today, guys. In the next video we'll start writing the script from scratch. From the index page we'll write all the objects. Okay, so this will act as page objects, all these classes inside page objects will act as object repository as well. So we'll write all the web elements inside the particular class where it belongs to. Okay, Okay, then I am good. So again, I would recommend guys, if you are new, then please go over the previous videos which I have created, because if you directly land on this framework series, then it would be very difficult. So please go through all the videos first, like Java for Selenium and Selenium WebDriver step by step. So if you're new to my channel, then please subscribe this channel and share my videos guys. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.